Hey everyone, welcome back. I keep saying welcome back. It's our first episode.
Hello, YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We want to try something new and something, to go along with how things are changing. We're both filmmakers. I'm Cheyenne. This is Josh. We went to
Hello.
film school together, and what we're interested in is how filmmakers are taking on new forms of filmmaking, especially AI and digital filmmaking. And we've seen some really great things in it, and we just kind of thought it's worthwhile to talk about them. And I thought it's worthwhile to kind of expand our horizons on like what is out there. There's a couple right now that really caught my eye, and they're sort of Star Wars focused.
Mhm.
Um, and they are one of them's called Star Wars Tales Untold, um, and the other one I think is called Skywalker Stories,
Yeah, that's right.
and they really have like they're actually quite remarkable in terms of their insight.
Hmm.
They basically take material that hasn't sort of been filmed, I guess, um, and that's in the lore somewhere in canon or in uh, sort of other parts of the universe of Star Wars, and they bring them to life in a way that you never could before because they're using the 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 characters and the performers in the established performers in those
Hmm.
Star Wars classics to bring them back to life. I mean, you could watch,
And it's not
Obi-Wan.
it's not satire.
It's not
It's
satire.
yeah.
No, it's very serious.
You
And
sent me that one video with Qui-Gon talking to an older Obi-Wan, like the ghost of Qui-Gon.
yes,
That was great. It was like
it
powerful
was
and
really,
down to earth,
yeah,
and it definitely added something to it. Yeah.
and
Uh,
it's very well done. And they've sort of, I just like their techniques for using what the tools offer.
hmm.
They have some limitations. So, action doesn't look very good at the
Right.
moment. They do lack um, fluid motion when it comes to, say, a lightsaber fight, but they are pretty damn good at capturing expression. They seem to nail the voices of those characters.
Hmm.
They uh, uh, they seem to have really good close-ups of the characters talking. So their material, especially Skywalker stories, really focuses on dialogue. It's not about uh, something with too much action
Hmm.
or too dynamic. Um, but it's surprisingly well written.
It
The
is.
language is like matches the universe
Hmm.
and the tone of what we're used to in classic Star Wars, I should say, not uh, which I think was lacking in the newer Star Wars material, personally for me.
Hmm.
Um, so they capture that and then they explore some really intriguing um, ideas in them.
Have we not ensured that all the galaxy share this opinion?
Quite so. It is fatiguing to play the villain for so long, Master.
And that's what makes it really impressive because it's they've taken the best of what you can do and they're telling stories
Hmm.
that I think Disney would struggle to get out.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
really
definitely a
impressive.
higher tier of writing going on there. Um,
I think
for
so.
the
I
most
find some of it.
part, like yeah, for the
Yeah,
most
some of
part.
it. Yeah, some of it
Andor
was
was really
way
good,
more.
but yeah,
Yeah, Andor is very good. I
yeah,
gotta say,
yeah,
I'm not
Andor was
taking
great.
away from anything. Andor really kind of rose above. But I wanted
Yeah.
to say about the channels that are doing something interesting with characters and some of them too are like completely hypothetical, like two characters from completely different time zones, time like
Yeah, they
eras,
wouldn't exist together in the
eons apart.
same.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't have, yeah. So it's
So it's
completely theoretical. It's
yeah,
completely. with the subject that they're talking about, the subject of the discussion, the debate between them is very interesting and like sometimes very ethereal
Hmm.
and uh, filled with paradox.
You have a purpose here. Perhaps you are protecting something? No. Protecting someone.
We're sort of I guess old school filmmakers, but we're just so excited by the new stuff, and we're trying our hand at it. So if anybody else wants to try their hand at it and tell us about it, we'd love comments. Um,
Absolutely.
Share it. We'll definitely look at them, and we're interested to hear from those who are like kind of exploring as we are.
Hmm.
And hopefully we can come up with something that we can share with you. I have some things that I'd like to try.
Hmm.
I'm still really kind of exploring. So if anybody wants to, throw hints at us as to which generator would be the right one for what we have in mind. They all have strengths and weaknesses, and I was talking to Josh about this before. One of the problems, I guess, for us is that we have in our heads, like when you uh, go to film school and you make features and short films and everything, you feel like there's always a process, and those processes were made over decades, but they're all sort of old school, and they
Hmm.
don't actually apply to what is out there now. If you're going to do it with AI, you need to like kind of start thinking fresh and kind
Hmm.
of wipe the slate and be like, there's new ways of doing everything. But that makes it really hard because you kind of want to start with the right AI generator, but I don't actually think there is a right one,
No, they're not there
especially
yet.
given that yeah, and they're changing
Hmm.
literally week to week.
Hmm.
They're changing at such a rapid pace that, one of them, whenever, and I've done this, I'm sure a lot of you have done it, maybe you're watching this, maybe that's why the 5 people that are watching this, maybe that's why you ended up clicking on it because you're probably looking at, like we are, the tutorials and the reviews of all of the generators and everything. But you watch one going like, I'm going to figure out based on this which one I'm going to go with, and literally like 4 or 5 days later, um, all of those reviews are already obsolete because half of the generators have been updated, and now the thing that they didn't have that you were looking for, that's, oh, this one has 80% of what I want, but I really need that character consistency more than anything else, and this one is stronger with character consistency, so I have
Hmm.
to go with that one. But the generator A will get that, and generator B doesn't have that still. So by the time you make that choice, they've already changed, and uh, that's one of the challenge I find. Otherwise, I want to be elbow deep in all of this. Um, but yeah, I'm still trying to test them out and
Hmm.
everything. So I think you just kind of need to choose one and just go with it.
Well,
And it may not be the right one, but
absolutely, yeah. I mean, lots of really good points there. I agree. Like, you don't really want to invest in anything just quite yet, but it's good to explore them all. There's so many. I don't know
yeah,
how much you've dabbled in. I've dabbled in a few of them, and mostly really basic stuff. And I'm just doing the free
yeah,
trials all the time, getting those
yeah,
free
yeah,
20
exactly.
credits
Just
or
using,
whatever. But they've,
yeah.
they've been helping me. You know, like I did like making this slideshow right now for a family, and I have this one picture where they have no video. They sent me no video, and I'm like, guys, send me something that we can juice up the slideshow a little bit with. And so I'm like, oh, let's try some AI stuff. And I'm noticing from using these that the wide shots seem to work a lot better. Like especially like when
Mm,
you're talking about dialogue and like the
yeah.
intricacies. Oh wow,
Intric Intricacies?
intricacies. Thank you. Um, in the face, they're not
Yeah, I know the nuanced
the
stuff
nuance.
in your
Thank you.
expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but
yeah,
but for the wide shots and stuff, or when you're like 20 feet away from the person, like
yeah.
it looks perfect. It's really hard to tell that there's anything going on there. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just quite impressed by the wide shot thing. So I haven't really messed around with
Yeah.
anything getting close up though. So I'm not sure
Mm.
what we're gonna
Mm.
we're planning on messing
Well,
around with some characters from
yeah, and I
films.
and I I think those guys are doing it right. They're
Hmm.
doing, pieces that are like as short as 3 minutes,
Hmm.
or kind of maybe about 10 minutes at the most.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's doable in that range. I'd really love to get in touch and just sort of I've tried asking several times, um, which which one of the AI generators are you using? I kind of feel like it should become standard practice if you're using an AI that you need to credit it, which one you used. I think that's fair.
Hmm.
Um, and but yeah, I think
Instead
and
of like you're not saying instead of saying this was generated by AI, you think they need to specifically say which one,
this was generated by like Sora, or this was generated. I did this with,
like in the credits.
VO or
Yeah,
something. Yeah, in the
I think
VO,
so.
and
Yeah,
somewhere you need to say something about which one you used, um,
I agree with
because then
that.
people are going to be interested as well.
Hmm.
And yeah, and it's because it's like if you don't, it just should be like common courtesy.
Hmm.
Um, and uh, I'm sure once it gets to, and this is going to be a big topic at some point, once it becomes like the standard for professional projects, like
Hmm.
at some point it will be. And I'm sure there's production companies already like, delving into it, doing R&D, trying to figure out, and they probably have armies of lawyers trying to figure out too, how do we do this so that we don't get sued?
Hmm.
Um, by by the AI generator company itself. Like, what kind of deal do we make with them? By anybody that might look like the characters that are being generated, and by the unions. Those are they're going to come after them too. But anyways, it will go professional, and when it does, crediting is going to be an important part of it. And I wonder if there's going to be various kinds of deals, including partnership. So the AI generator will actually be a partner. Like, it'll be kind of the studio, you know, in because you're using their resources, and you pay for maybe some of their costs and some of the service, but ultimately they will own a piece of the project and piece of the revenue.
Hmm.
But yes, but it should be. I'm sure it will be standard practice, and I wonder at some point YouTube is gonna say, if this is generated, then you need to credit where it was generated.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Um,
I mean you have to
yeah.
credit production companies and whoever's
Well,
worked
and
on it.
for so many legal reasons, monetary reasons, economic reasons,
Hmm.
legal reasons, like um, and safety reasons, I think it should be like, you should label something, and the videos themselves should be like a category of
Like,
AI generated
are you
video.
saying this because like the people that we're discovering on YouTube here making these AI shorts are not telling you what they're using?
Yeah, some of them just don't mention,
I'm just looking
they
here.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe they do at some point. They answered somebody or something,
yeah.
but
Maybe
I
if you went
couldn't
to like
find
their
it.
Instagram or something.
I tried looking around and being
Hmm.
like, what is this guy using for that? There's no
Hmm.
indication. It's possible that they're using multiple ones, but they should mention them.
Yeah, I think
That would be
that's
nice.
probably the case. Yeah, and it looks
I
like
think it will be.
it's not 100% AI either. Like they're doing some work with either Unreal or Blender as well. So
So they're doing some. Okay.
they're combining some stuff
Maybe.
there. Yeah, like I saw they're doing some backgrounds and stuff in Unreal, and there's a couple of sequences where they're using ships and stuff, where they've actually modeled the accurate ships in Blender or Unreal. I wasn't sure which one they're using actually. Um,
Well,
yeah,
I
so there's.
wonder. I haven't looked it up, but I have been wondering if Unreal itself is working on because it would make sense for
Oh yeah,
them to have a video generator, because
they
they
have to.
could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd miss out.
because it makes sense if that's the biggest barrier. I
Hmm.
think the biggest barrier for you to do a really good, polished, professional level project
Hmm.
is to have models. Um, the models of the vehicles and the
Hmm.
characters, and just exact models that then you don't have to prompt
Hmm.
for them to be used, or it doesn't have to remember it. It just has the actual look of
Yeah.
what this is that you're referring to. So what you're prompting is the action. Uh, Really, you need to describe the action as clearly as possible, not describe the characters or objects or setting.
Well, that
So
goes
once you have
along.
models of those,
Yeah.
then you just tell your story and then edit it, I guess,
Hmm.
along with the AI.
I mean, that goes along with Unreal's model to begin with, of like why they even created Unreal in the first place, because they wanted people to not have to design every single door, every single window, every time they make a
Exactly. Yeah.
game. So they're like, here,
Yeah.
borrow our engine, pay us a little money, and then all the little
Hmm.
details are solved, and you can
Exactly.
spend your time on storytelling. And so I feel like they must be going that route, because they would just be left behind
I
if they
hope so.
didn't. And it's kind of what they were all about to start with, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
making the process
Yeah.
easier.
And this would make it just like this would something like an AI generator for them would open their client, you know, options up
Hmm.
by tenfold,
Hmm.
because then anybody anybody could make small short films, even feature films,
Yeah.
as long as they put in the time and effort without hundred
Hmm.
hundreds of people working on it, and without having to go beg, borrow, and steal for a funding.
Yeah.
I mean, it would turn everything really
Hmm.
on its head, and that would be, I think, it's a really good thing, because some people might say like, oh, all these people are going to lose jobs. They'll have new jobs.
Hmm.
They'll find new jobs. Those skills that they have, I think, like, I was saying to you before, if you're, say, a like an art director on films and TV shows and everything, your skills are still going to be useful. You just don't have to have, 30 people under you doing what you direct them to do in the art department. You can turn what you do into prompts, and the whatever system it is that they're using for the project, that's what's going to be used. So instead
Hmm.
of having, a crew of 75 trying to make this project, you can have five, six, seven people making all the creative decisions and putting together something incredibly polished.
Hmm.
Um, because you'd have the benefit of them. Now, if you have the money to pay for those people to help in your make creative decisions, for art department, maybe even casting to decide what the characters should be like and what kind of performance you're looking for in the characters, then that would help you tremendously. But you could probably, as the creator of something, as the writer, director of it, you can do it all on your own, right? But because you have that tool.
Hmm.
But if you have access to other creatives who can assist you, and you can delegate certain things to, because aesthetically they are already in tune with you,
Hmm.
then you would want them. You would want those people to help you prompt, right?
Absolutely.
You'd save time, things would go faster, you'd get new ideas, you'd have a blend of things, you'd have that, you get the extra bit out of collaborating with other creatives
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It
Get the
blows my
wardrobe,
mind
the
when I think
wardrobe
about it.
person prompting all.
Exactly. Exactly. Like when I
Yeah.
write, and so when I write, I see some of what I have in my mind, but
Hmm.
is it exact? Not always.
Hmm.
Like I can't tell you.
To
I can
phrase
write a
like,
scene.
and knowing
I
the
know everything.
fabrics,
Yes,
basically.
I know everything about that scene. I know exactly what I want the characters to say and how they're doing it, and I can visualize like what they're doing in that
Hmm.
scene, and what, how that maybe how have an idea of how they might be blocked and everything.
Hmm.
But do I know what shoes one of the guys is wearing?
Hmm.
Not really. I
Yeah.
didn't really, it wasn't pertinent to the scene.
Hmm.
But, you know, somebody who's, a wardrobe expert will say he should wear these shoes
Hmm.
because it would complement this thing in your
Yeah.
scene. And you'd be like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that, even though they're my character. So you want those people. Those
Hmm.
people will still have jobs. And like even the person who worked under them will want that job.
Hmm.
And now they'll be able to help somebody or do their own project or help somebody prompt
Hmm.
those things. So really, instead of physically having to do it, and some people will still do it. Like
Hmm.
there's still going to be filming on camera. I think it just would be less. It would be probably for the most privileged filmmakers will still be able to get a bunch of people together and cameras and film like that. but most of them are going to be able to make their material without all that resources. So it's going to be good.
It's gonna, yeah, and it's gonna get oversaturated for sure. Oversaturated with lots of amazing stories and movies that
We'll
people are
have more
making.
options.
This could
We'll
be
have
like with the
more
music
options.
industry. What happened with the music industry? All of a sudden, everyone was able to record an album at home, and it's just everywhere. So it'll be a
Well,
bit like that, but there'll still be like the cream of the crop,
have you
rising.
tried the music generating AI?
I have not personally tried it, but I've had a couple of buddies send me some stuff. They're like, check out the song I wrote, and I'm like, okay. So what part did you write here? And I'm like, they're like, I wrote the lyrics. I'm like, okay. So you wrote the lyrics, and then it came up with the melody, the structure,
The
how long it
structure.
was, the
I mean,
tempo.
it. Did you write it? No, I think
I don't even believe
that's
that they wrote
too broad.
it.
But you prompted it. I
Yeah,
think you could say
yeah.
like, check out the music I prompted
Hmm.
because it captures what I wanted. It
Hmm.
captures, and that there's still something to that.
Absolutely.
I think there's still
Yeah,
creative
yeah. It doesn't
choices
mean that
being
you
made,
didn't. Yeah, you still put it in
but you
there,
didn't
but
write that music.
it's just you
You
can't
know,
take credit for being a
mm,
composer. They're like, you know
no,
what I mean?
you're definitely not a composer.
Yeah.
No,
I
you're definitely not a composer.
yeah.
But yeah, but I mean that blows my mind too because you basically are would be able to get tailor-made music for yourself,
Oh, film scores,
which
absolutely.
that makes me feel really bad for professional
Yeah,
musicians or anybody
hundred
who wants to
percent,
make their living doing it because um
100%.
it could just look at the roster of songs that you like and you just prompt, I want it to be 50% Bruce Springsteen, 50% I don't know, like
White Stripes.
White Stripes. What would that be like? That could be great. It could be awful, but
Can
it
you
could be
pull up?
great.
Can we
And
prompt it right now?
yeah, try it and then just see what just see what it ends up with.
Yeah.
And
Have you messed around with the
but
music stuff at all?
I haven't. No, I
Okay.
haven't because I've just been trying to learn the
Yeah.
film stuff.
Yeah.
But I also have friends who are doing the music
Hmm.
stuff and they play me the stuff that they came up with and I honestly I couldn't tell that it's generated. It
Yeah.
seems like, you know,
The singing
it's not.
voices are pretty insane.
Yes, yeah, and
Yeah.
that so it's not brilliant, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's not. Um, I don't know if this is like just our human bias, which we don't want to give AI credit of being like as creative and as aesthetically gifted as we are, but
It'll get
there's
there.
some this. It's sort of like to me, uh, you know, to my ear, it was as good as all the pop stuff that's coming out,
Hmm.
right now for me.
Hmm.
I was like, there's no reason for people to be paying,
Hmm.
I don't know who, like a Taylor Swift or anything anymore to my ear because
Yeah.
what they do can be generated now by this
Hmm.
machine. I don't think it's at the point where it can replace like uh, every kind of music and every kind of musician. Um, but yeah, certainly like simple pop music. Yeah, I think. Uh,
Have you messed around much with just AI generated voiceover work?
uh, no. And I think that's purely out of spite because I
Yeah.
do voiceover.
Yeah, fair enough. I dabbled a bit for some
Yeah.
commercials, and it was interesting
That
to play
does.
with. It's not very nuanced. Like it can sound really good in this
Right.
in a straightforward, surfacey kind of way, but as soon as I was trying to get the voice to like hang on a word for a second, like I'm
Mm,
actually not sure about that. Like what it's
mm,
thinking,
mm,
I couldn't get it to do
mm.
that for the life of me. No matter what I typed in, it would always say a certain word, like short or quick.
Yes. But is there not one now where you don't type it, it's not prompted, you just say it and it will change
I'm
your
sure.
voice to
Oh,
that?
there gotta be. Yeah, I haven't tried that, but there must be. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's the one I see. It was either I heard, I know I heard something about that. It was
Let me look it
either
up
in
here.
development. I don't know if it's out yet or not, but the idea
I
was
mean,
that
yeah, you go.
you will do the voice, like
Hmm.
you will say the script as you want it directed effectively.
Hmm.
And then it will then take that and then put the vocals of somebody else on it. But it will keep the, wherever you emphasize something, whatever inflection you had on, you know, on
That's
on a
the
certain
nuance that you
syllable or
want.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yeah,
it's
if
able
you
to do that with a,
emphasize,
yeah,
yeah, if
it,
you emphasize a different syllable in a
mhm,
word or something, it will pick that up, and it will then put the voice of another person
mhm,
on it.
with an
So
accent and yeah, so it totally has the energy, the specific energy you need. Which would be, I mean, if it can do people's movements like that and replace me with some,
yes,
other
and
character.
so we're seeing that, and that one really blew my mind. I mean, I love that. I was like, oh my God. So basically, I don't have to tell him, oh, so this character is saying this, and he's very like animated, and he uses a lot of body language,
Hmm.
and he moves his hands around a lot when he's talking, and he moves them like this, and I don't have to do that.
Hmm.
You could just you take any camera, the camera on your laptop, you then perform it, and then it will project that character onto your performance, which was
Hmm.
something that required, you
Motion
know,
capture suits and
motion
special
capture,
cameras and
weeks of, yeah,
oh,
of
it,
post-production people making it look right and everything.
it makes me think of
And
Gollum, and it's like just how much. Just record Gollum live now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you can just be Gollum.
yeah.
Absolutely. Like
Hmm.
that one, that was to me like, I'm like, whoa, man, that's a knockout punch
Hmm.
to the
Oh
post-production
yeah,
industry.
yeah,
That's gonna hurt.
yeah.
But again, they will be able to use that tool,
Hmm. You just
and
got to stick with the
instead of,
times. Yeah, they can do it.
yes, exactly, the instead of spending, uh 8 months on one project getting it right, they can make 8 projects per month.
Hmm.
you know like it would speed things up dramatically,
Cut
and
costs.
my hope, but if I was to be optimistic about all this, is that we would see a lot more new, original,
Yeah,
projects, original short films,
you will.
original feature films, and they'll be available on a wide variety of platforms.
Hmm.
And so there would be this
Hmm.
proliferation of content, so that it's not as centralized or as controlled
Maybe
by,
that's maybe that's something that will
Hollywood
be
or
needed. Maybe they'll someone should create a platform to host these shorts that you're talking about that everyone's going to start cranking out here. Like a Netflix of AI generated shorts. Something
yeah.
like a place for people to upload to
I mean, I
other
I
than YouTube.
I'm pretty sure that they're gonna. Um, I would be shocked if
Netflix didn't go that route.
the current, yeah, exactly, that they don't have a plan
Hmm.
for, a category
Hmm.
of AI
Yeah,
generated
you're right.
stuff. My mm, and I already hear from people who say like, oh, I don't think I would want to watch something that's purely AI made. I'm like, but if you
Growing
watch
pains.
animation,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, if you want animation, it's created by people,
Yeah,
but it's not real people you're looking at,
I mean
right? But
that's
it's okay. It's
mostly
just a
how
matter
I
of,
feel too. Like I don't want to sit there for 2 hours at the level we're at right now watching this
mm,
content because
no,
it's
oh,
it's,
oh no,
it's,
no,
it's
no.
not there yet. But
But it's
these people that you're saying are not interested. You're thinking, but are interested in
well, I think
animation.
they think,
They'll
yeah,
get
I think
they'll
yeah,
come
that
around
they'll
once
get
it gets better.
there.
It's just
And
not there
frankly,
yet.
a lot of content that's made out there, like soap operas and pop culture material, um they don't they don't really need like artistic individuals pouring their hearts and souls into it. They just need
Yeah,
people to show up, hit their marks, and say the lines.
yeah.
And and um you know you don't really need a person to do that. It can be generated.
Hmm.
And even some of the good stuff, I think, will eventually be generated, and it's still a person.
Hmm.
eh, you know it's still somebody's vision. It's just the only difference is how many other people were involved in turning that vision into something we
Yeah,
can all watch. It doesn't bother me at all.
yeah. It's just
And
changing. It's a revolution of the industry, and it's
yeah,
it's
and there'll
exciting.
be a special
It's time.
place for something, and then there'll still be a special place for us to watch something with like live action actors in front of a camera, and
Yeah, there'll still be that.
you know, yeah,
Romanticize it a bit. People still shoot on film.
yeah,
But it's been like this for so long, and it's so unfair, and it's so hard, and no one can ever get any money, and it's like anyone who actually wants to shoot a movie, like really shoot a movie, can't. It's a pipe
mm,
dream
mm.
for the most part,
I,
unless you try really, really
I
hard.
I
But
think what it solves, obviously people will have, like, if you're, if you're, I don't know, like a cam op, or you know, uh, camera assistant or something like
hmm
that, this is gonna suck, because it's gonna eventually, it means that there's really not gonna be much for you to do.
hmm
Hopefully you'll take those skills that you have and then apply them to um, a position that uses those tools.
hmm
So there'll be a period of transition. But um, but for most content creators and filmmakers,
hmm
storytellers, this is going to be, as far as I can tell, it's going to be a game changer, and it's going to allow them to now create,
yeah,
because it won't require them to ask for permission for
hmm
somebody to to give them the
yeah,
funding to make it happen. Um, I mean, I don't know how much it would cost right now to use those, however good it can be done. I don't know if you paid for the highest level of subscription on something and you maxed out monthly what you can generate out of it. I'm curious to know how
yeah,
long it would take to put together something that would be like a 90-minute feature
yeah.
film.
It'd be painful to watch though because we're still limited by the shot length, which would just ruin it for me. But you're right though. You could, if you just dump some money into Sora and spent a couple months and an
I wonder,
entire movie of 5 second shots. That's
but some of them are longer, no?
some of them are longer. I think it goes up to 10 seconds. What is the maximum length here? But we are getting short on time here.
Uh,
What is the max length? Max AI length.
I mean, if it's enough to, fill, like, you can do 10, 15-second shots and it would still feel okay. Um, but for a feature film, you're right. You do want some shots that breathe. Um,
You could probably cheat it too and like weave a couple together. Um,
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
depending on the resolution,
Mm,
or also I'm curious about frame rates too. I haven't heard too
mm,
much about that because if you can generate 120 frames a second, 10-second clip, you can slow
mm,
it down,
mm,
but I don't think you can slow down AI content yet.
mm.
I don't think you can
Okay, well,
choose.
that's too bad. But there's
Um,
still there's still a lot that you
yeah,
can
15
do. You
seconds.
just,
Some are
again,
saying 20
well,
seconds. So
yeah,
yeah.
to take it back to where we started with, to circle back to those channels, this uh Star Wars Tales Untold and Skywalker Stories.
hmm
They I'm curious to hear what other people's ideas are.
hmm
So if anybody, the three people watching right now, if you do get a chance to check them out, we'd love to hear your comments about what comes to you in terms of ideas, or questions, or um, possible solutions you see in how they're doing things, because it's difficult to get it from them. So if anybody has something to share, we'd love to hear your comments and then address them next time. um, and also, ideas, like if you have other channels that we should look at and discuss,
Yeah,
please put them in the comments so we can check them out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But I think I think this is a lot to chew on right now. But and we can go and maybe take a crack. Hopefully, if I can find something that works, and maybe we can show something about what we might want to tackle and
Yeah,
do something similar. But we'll have to see. We'll have
Yeah,
to see.
we'll
And
try to generate
if anybody
something.
comes back
Yeah.
next week, that would be amazing. If I
Mhm.
see 10 people watching, I'll be over the moon. So, anyways, let's see if we can hit that number.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to, hear more from us, let us know. We'd love to chat more.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, please send us a comment or a suggestion or something that we can look into on the next episode, and
I
we'll,
know.
we'll be active in the
Yeah.
chat. So
Yeah. Anyways, hopefully we'll see you guys next
yeah,
time.
you'll
All
catch
right.
us in the next one.
Cheers, guys.